I am just beginning to fuel up, putting the gas in the tank. Trying to set the auto here. Okay, get the auto set. All right, I got gas and wait a minute. No, I got fuel. I got gas in the tank. I got fuel in the tank. Put fuel in the tank. We're ready to roll. In fact, we're on the road. We're on 95 and we're headed southbound to Orlando, Florida. There's a couple things I want you guys to think about while we're on our way. Consider the amount of gas that I just put in the tank. What's happening to that gasoline as we're driving? And then I want you to think about the number of miles that we're driving in relation to my truck. So, and in relation to the gas. So what's happening to the number of miles we're driving and what's happening to the amount of gas that's in the tank. So be thinking about that. So when we were on our way to Florida, myself and also I had my brother-in-law calculating how much fuel we were burning as we were driving. So how much was left in the gas tank, basically. And what I've done is once we got down there, I took all of that data and I graphed it. I did, but first I put it into a table again. I put it into another XY table for each of us. So I recorded mine and his on two separate XY tables. And this time the X is representing the number of miles we drove. The Y value is how much gas is left in the tank at that moment, at that time, at that mile point. So whatever mile interval is displayed on the graph. Now, I got a little bit better gas mileage than he did. The tank on my car was actually smaller than the tank on his, so when we filled up, he actually filled up with more gas than I did, but my gas mileage was better. I burned less gas than he did over the course of the trip. This is all the same data that I collected over the trip. One is just the XY table, and the other is a graph on a coordinate plane of the data from the tables. With this type of scatter plot, you'll notice that one of the variables or elements is continuing to decrease, which would be the amount of fuel that's in our tanks as we're driving. The other variable or element would be increasing, which is the number of miles that we're driving. So the further we drive in miles, the less fuel there is in the tank. And this type of graph often reminds me of my checking account, where my wife is constantly creating more bills and there's constantly a decrease of money in the account. This is what we term a negative correlation or a negative trend. Also called just a negative relationship. So the two elements together, one's positive, one's negative, create a negative relationship, trend, or correlation. What kind of things can you think of that would have a similar type relationship with one variable being positive and the other one being negative? And I don't necessarily mean middle school drama type stuff, but hey, certainly I'm sure you can think of a few things that would fit that category.